What's going on, guys? Marking Sestelli here, and today I'm gonna be showing you guys exactly how I made over $6,900 last week on Instagram. Let me actually just show this to you real quick. Let me show you. So last week from Sunday to Saturday, as you see right here, 6,900. Let me just refresh it so I can show you a live, just so I can show you. So this last 14 days. Now, if I do the last from the 9th to the 15th, which is what I usually consider a week from Sunday to Saturday, is what I usually consider like my work weeks. But you can see, I made $6,900 last week posting on Instagram. I'm about to show you guys exactly how I was able to make this as well. And if you're watching this right now, you're skeptical. You're like, there's no way this is real. This is BS. I'm gonna be number one explaining why you're skeptical, and how it's actually possible for anyone to actually do this. I'm not anyone special, right? Anyone can do this if you understand these things I'm about to teach you guys right now. Now, the reason why I'm looking over here while I'm talking to you is because I have my laptop right here, right? And as I'm talking to you, I have my phone right here that I'm using as kind of like a webcam as I'm talking to you to explain this to you. But yeah, so let's get into it. I'm about to show you guys exactly how I did this and how you can do this as well. Now, if you're skeptical, it's going to be because of this reason right here. So let me actually just open up my whiteboard. Okay, so I could break this down to you so it can make a lot of sense for you. Let me just make this smaller real quick so it's not as big. So if you are skeptical right now, you're skeptical because of two things, okay? The first thing is going to be your perception of time. Okay, so put time over here. Your perception of time as it relates to money, all right? I'm going to break this down for you so you guys can really understand this. And this is why, like, most people, when they see figures like this, when they see somebody making like $6,000 in a week, because the way they've been programmed, they think like there's BS, there's no way this is possible. And really, $6,000 in a week is not a lot of money at all. I know people who are making more than that in a day online doing what I'm about to teach you. But then the second thing is going to be because of consumption. So consumption, I'm just gonna put consumption, right? I probably spelled this wrong. Thank God I don't get paid for spelling. Your understanding of consumption and creation. Okay. And I'm gonna break this down for you. Trust it's gonna make sense at the end of this video while I'm explaining these two things. So the reason number one why you don't believe this, if you're skeptical, you might believe it if you're already in the online space, you know, it's very possible. But if you're somebody who just landed on this video and you're like, your first thing is like red flags, and you're just like, it's red flags, and you're like, just super skeptical, and you're like, there's no way this is real, I think this is a scam or BS. I'm about to explain to you guys, number one, why you think this way. Okay, so the reason why you think this way is because of your perception of time and money. And let me just open up a second whiteboard right so you understand this. Most people, the way they see time and money is that they see it connected. They see T, I'm going to put T over here, plus money. They see it as like one and the same. So much so that you even hear people saying that time is money. You probably heard people say that before, where they're like, time is money. Because what they're literally saying is, my time is my money. Like, it's equivalent. But really, it's not true at all. And the reason why most people think that way, why you might think that way, is because what you were taught growing up is that the only way to make money is to go out and trade your time to get more money, or working for an hourly wage. This is how most people think when they think about how can I make money. They all think about like just think about it. When you go out and you think about how you're going to make money, right? What do you? This first thing you do. You're going to look at a job. And you're thinking about how much are they going to pay me an hourly wage? Because you believe the only way you can make money is by trading your time for money. This is how you were programmed in school and society. Society has taught you, go to school, get a degree. When you get a job at a degree, you're going to get paid X amount of dollars per hour, and that's how much you're worth. And most people are programmed in this way, where they believe this is the only way to make money. So much so that when they leave their job or they're looking to get a pay increase, the first thing they do is, let me go find a job that can pay me an extra $5 an hour, extra $10 an hour, right? That's the only way they consider being able to make money. And that's the only way they've been taught that you can actually create an income. But when you just look at our society, you can see that it's just completely not true, because not everybody works a job. A matter of fact, the only way that there would be jobs for people to work is if there's people that don't have jobs. So what do I mean? Like, the only way you can work for your job that you're working at right now is that somebody had to go out and find a company. They had to create a source of income where they needed to employ people like you, wherever you're working at. Somebody owns that business, and if there wasn't somebody that owned that business and they're not working a job, then they wouldn't be able to employ you. And they're making money without trading their time for money. So the people that own, for example, let's say you work at State Farm, your insurance adjuster. The owner of State Farm, they're not working a job. What they have is a business. They have a source of income that isn't predicated on the time that they spend working, because what they have is a system in place, right? They have an income system. And that's the thing that most people aren't taught, that you can actually create income systems. And previously, before the internet, how people did that is they might have started like a lawn care business, or they might have started a real estate business, a firm of some sorts, right? Where income is being generated and it's not based off of the time that they spend working. How they're generating their income is through creation instead of consumption. And this is what I was talking about. Let's go back to creation and consumption, all right? Because there's two types of people in this world. And there's people that consume way more than create. There's people that create way more than they consume. Now, everybody consumes and creates, but they do it at different proportions. So what do I mean? So just think about somebody that goes to work a job, right? There's nothing wrong with working a job. But when you think about when you go to work, when I was working a job, what was your main goal when you went to go work a job? Your main goal was about you putting money in your pockets, right? You being able to pay your bills. It was all about you, okay? It's all about you getting money in your pockets so you can then go use that money to buy things for yourself. What you had is what's called a consumption. You had a consumption mindset. Your entire goal, your entire focus was, how can I get money to get more stuff for me, right? That I can then consume. That will be for my benefit. Like, it's all about you. Now, when you consider a business owner, right? And even business in general, a successful business is going to be based off of the proportion of what they create. Okay. So what do I mean? So let's go back to our example of State Farm. State Farm, for that company to be successful, they had to create a product that gave value to other people. So they had to literally create something. Something had to be created. They're creating insurance policies for people, right? They're creating something that benefits people in some way that helps them improve their lives. That's how all businesses work. So for the mass majority of people, what you're taught is, let me go out and let me consume. That's just how like most people are wired. That's how we live in like a consumerist economy. Like most people, their whole focus on a day-to-day basis, how can I get more money so I can just get more stuff, so I can consume more stuff, where I can eat more things, have more clothes, buy the car I want. It's all about just consuming, right? Whereas the people who are the most successful in society are the ones who actually create. It's the creators that make the most money. Just think about Elon Musk. Why is he so successful? He's literally created something that impacts many people's lives. He's created Tesla, electric cars. You see those all over. So you see the impact that he has by creating in society, and that's why he is making the money that he makes, because he's creating. I'm going to show you guys how you can become a creator instead of a consumer, and how becoming a creator is how you're able to literally generate an income in the online space. It's actually super simple. I hope you guys are following me. This is making sense, right? So let's go back to your understanding of time and money. So most people, how they see money is they see it as something that they have to trade their time for. And because of that, right, they see money as limited, right? Because how they associate money is they consider, like, for example, I just told you guys I made $6,900, right, last week. $6,900, I know this looks terrible, right? I made $6,900 last week, okay? And I made $6,900 last week, and it wasn't based off of the time I spent working. A matter of fact, last week I didn't work 5 days out of the week because I was sick with the flu, right? I just have a cough right now, trying to hold it in. But I made $600 last week. I didn't even work 5 days out of last week because I had the flu. Okay? Sounds crazy, right? But if I tell you I made $1,600 last week, what you're going to associate that with is like an hourly wage. Because if you consider that to your job right now, let's say you're working at your job and you make, I don't know, you have a good job and you make like $50 an hour. More than likely you're working 40 hours a week, okay? And you're making $50 an hour. So you're making $50 an hour, you're making 40 hours a week. That would mean that you would only be able to generate $2,000 last week. And that's a good paying job if you're making $2,000 a week, right, at a job. Okay? I don't know people who's working a job that makes that much. Very few that I know is making $2K a week. right? So if you were making $50 an hour and you worked 40 hours last week, your association with money would be based off of time. So now if you look at that, I made $6,900 last week, but I didn't work 40 hours last week. A matter of fact, last week I might have worked maybe like 12 hours because I was sick. I actually did not work most of last week. Now, in your head, how you would associate that is automatically your brain is going to be like, okay, I worked 40 hours to make $2,000 last week. This guy made $1,600. You're going to be like, no, that's impossible because they would have to work because your association with time, you're going to be like, okay, for me to make that, I would have to work 3 times. For me to make even 6K last week, I'd have to make 3 times this amount. So that'd to be 3 times this amount. And to make 3 times this amount, what do you have to do? If you're trading your time for money right now, you got to increase this by 3x. So you would say, okay, for this person to make that, they'd have to work 120 hours last week to be able to make what I made, right? To be able to make 6K, right? Just to be able to make that. And I made more than that, right? So your association will be with time and money. So automatically you're going to be like, that's not possible. Like, there's no way. This guy's probably, this is BS. He can't be doing this, right? Because your association with time is with money, okay? When really that's not true at all. Because there's people out here that's making billions of dollars. So for example, Elon Musk is worth $400 billion, right? It doesn't matter if you're working a job that pays you $1,000 an hour. You would never ever be able to make, let me move this up real quick because of these ads right here. You would never be able to make $4 billion in your entire lifetime. If you're making $1,000 an hour, you would never in your entire lifetime ever be able to make $400 billion. Even if you, your uncles, your brother, and all of you guys work $1,000 an hour, made $1,000 an hour, and you're working that for the next 10 years, you still wouldn't be able to make $400 billion. You probably wouldn't be able to make $1 billion, right? Because we're limited on time. Okay. And the way most people see money is that they think time is money, but it's not true at all. Time is actually infinitely more valuable than money. Now, let me break down to you guys why I'm explaining this. So if we go down to here, what you really got to understand is that time is not money at all. So time does not equal money. You know what actually equals money? What equals money is value. Value is what actually creates money. And a matter of fact, money actually follows creation and value. Value equals money. So when you actually want to make more money, what you have to do is you have to provide more value. And I'm going to explain to you guys exactly what value is. Okay, so let's go back to the State Farm example that I was giving you guys. Let's say you work at State Farm or you're the owner of State Farm. The money you make is not based off of the amount of time you spend busting your butt to do work, right? Because money is not actually like money. Most people equate money to hard labor when that's not true. Because there's people right now in rice fields picking out rice all day for 18 hours a day, working way harder than any CEO in America, right? And they're not making anywhere close to the amount of money, okay? And the reason is because, even like I was saying earlier, you might say, oh, that's not fair. But life isn't based off of fair. Income is based off of value that you provide. Now, when you go to work a job, the value you're providing is literally all about yourself. Like, you're not really considering how am I helping my business? How am I helping society? What you're really considering is me. How am I putting money in my pockets, right? Like, if we're just being honest, when you go to the job, it's all about you paying your bills, you getting paid. Like, it's all about you. Now, when you actually think about a business is about helping a mass amount of people. And that's why most people go into business, they fail because they go into business with the same mindset as like a job mindset. And they're just thinking about how can I make money? How can money come into my pockets? All about me, right? And it's the consumer mindset where they're just concerned about how can I get? They're not concerned about how can others get. Now, when we consider a good business like State Farm, the reason why State Farm is a business is because they have insurance policies, or they should, that helps out their customers, right? And because that insurance policy helps out their customers, it covers them in some way, more people are going to come to them because it's helping out a massive amount of people instead of just themselves. It's for any business, period. Right? When we consider Elon Musk and Tesla, what has he created? He's created a product, the cars, right? His electric cars, that helps a lot of people. A lot of people want that product. It benefits a massive amount of people in society, not just himself, right? So when you consider, like, even when you go into a job, like, for example, a Tesla employee, who are they benefiting? They're helping out just one person. They're helping out Elon, and they're helping themselves money in their pockets. But Elon is not only helping out the employees because he's actually giving them income. a way for him to create income, but he's also helping out society because now he's giving a new way for people to create a new people for. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. But he's creating a new way, or not a new way, but he's created vehicles where people can now get a benefit from having electric vehicles. It impacts their lives in some way. Where now it's impacting hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, right, from his one product that he's created. So when you usually go into a business and you're creating, you're helping a massive amount of people instead of just one person or just yourself. And that's why income or money is based off of value, the value that you create in the marketplace, right? And the income I make is not based off of me just working the hours that I put in. The money I make is based off of the value that I give to others. This is why entrepreneurs, business owners make the most money, because you are never going to be limited on how much you can create. You can create an infinite amount of things, right? And it can impact an infinite amount of people, right? So when you are making money based off of value, you have no limitations. But when you're making money based off of time, you're limited because we only have 24 hours in a day. So if the income you make is based off of the time that you spend working, of course it's going to be like, it's going to feel impossible to make $6,000 in a week, or it's going to be like, is this even really possible? Because your association with money is with time, and time is not money at all. As a matter of fact, I would say that time is infinitely more valuable than money because you can't get time back, right? So now I'm about to show you guys how we leverage social media to then make money. Because you're probably wondering, okay, well, I've given you all this information, but now you're probably wondering, okay, what does this have to do with anything? I'm about to show you guys how using these principles, right, you can literally print and make any amount of money you want if you learn how to do these things. So the first thing is, when it comes to social media and building up a following that makes you money, I make money off of Instagram. I actually have more than one Instagram account. That's because I understand this. So this Instagram account I have has over 400,000 followers. This one I have has over 300,000 followers. And listen, I didn't start off with 1 million followers. I started off with 0. Okay, anyone can do this. I started both of these accounts from 0, and I built them up organically to over 100,000 followers each, right? Over 200,000 followers each. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how I did it and how you can do the same thing as well. Now, the first thing I understand is creation. So when it comes to building up a following on social media is all about giving value and creating for the benefit of others, not yourself. So what most people do when they go into social media is they're thinking about, what do I like? What do I want to create? And they're in this consumer mindset. It's all about me. Because when you're a consumer, when you're in the mindset of consumption, all you think about is yourself. Honestly, like, you're selfish in that way. Like your entire being and existence all about you. It even like pours out in the way you think when it comes to social media. Because you might see like most new people, and I used to be the same way, right? So I understood this. Most new people, even me, when I first started off in social media, my first thought was, what video will I create that I think people are going to like? And it's all about me, right? Instead of thinking about it in a way of, what do people actually want? What can I create that can benefit people? What are they looking for? So literally, creation mindset instead of consumption mindset is going from the mindset of, what do I want, to what other people want. Because literally that's all that matters in social media. If you want to build up a following, it's going to be behind you creating things that people want, not that you want. The more you can help and benefit people, the easier it's going to be for you to build up a following, the easier it's going to be for you to build up a great fan base, and the easier it's going to be for you to then monetize that following. All right, so let me give you some real life examples. So my niche is, I help people generate an income online. How do I do that? So the first thing is this. You want to give free value that helps people out for free. Okay, so what do? I literally create videos that explain to people how they can create digital products that they can sell to make an income online. For free, I teach people this stuff, right? So if you go to my page, you see I teach people different ways to create income online for free, right? Because if somebody doesn't know you, the greatest way to be able to build up a following is going to be through rapport and giving value, right? So let me teach you this real quick, because this is something that actually literally changed my entire mindset understanding this. So what we have inside of us is something called reciprocity inherently. And reciprocity is pretty much the feeling of like, if somebody does something for you, you feel like you owe them. Okay. And what we have is something called the value bank. This is how the value bank works. I'm going to put a V over here, and I'll say this is a bank account. How the value bank works is this. And you'll see this. I'm going to give you some real life example of this on social media. How the value bank works is this. What you give out into society, you can't ask more for back, right? And what happens when you're a consumer, what you're trying to do is you're trying to take more than what you've given. Because your mindset is probably just, how can I get the most by doing the least amount? And this is, you even see this in not even just entrepreneurship, but you even see this at a job. Where I remember when I was working in an office about a year and a half before I learned how to make money on social media, right? Like most people at a 9 to 5 job, what are they doing? Most of them are thinking about, most people, they hate their work in their job. They're in there for 8 hours a day. And for that 8 hours a day, they'll probably spend like countless amount of hours on their phone just scrolling, just there to get a paycheck. Because their entire mindset is, how can I get the most for the least? Okay? Like their entire mindset is, how can I go to work, do the least amount as possible and get paid the most, right? So they're trying to get as much as they possibly can while giving the least amount. When you notice usually the employees that do the best are the ones who are like business and company focused first. They're like, okay, when they go into work, they're thinking about, how can I do the best job? How can I help move up the bottom line, right? How can I help this business or this company? And you see, usually the employees that do that really become an asset for their company, they usually have like the best job security. Their company will not get rid of them for anything because they're like worth more than the company's paying to them, right? They give a huge benefit. And the company knows, like, even though they might be getting paid $100K a year, they probably might be making the company an extra $500,000 a year. Right. I know me personally, when I was at my job, like just me personally, one of the things that held me back was that I just couldn't fathom working harder at a job because the benefit just was not there. Like for me, my mindset, I'm like, okay. And I actually did this where at my job, I was working as a media buyer, and I literally had a month where I made them like an extra $500,000 through ad spend, and I didn't get no raise for that. And my salary was still what the salary was. But this is me personally, my mindset. I'm like, all right, I don't see the benefit, and this is why like entrepreneurship is more of a fit for me, right? Because I'm like, all the income I make is based off of the work that I produce, right? If I move the needle, it literally moves the money in my pocket. Whereas at a job, it just was not the same thing. So when it comes to even business, how it works is this at a value. So you have a value bank. And what happens is, let's say I put out, I don't know, like $5,000 of value for free. Okay. I know giving out $5,000 of value for free. I can then go to that bank and I could be like, all right, I want to take out $2,000 of value. Okay. I'm going to show you how this works. I want to take out $2,000 of value. I can take that out because I've given in that value. I can't go to this account and be like, I want to withdraw $50,000 of value if I have not given $50,000 of value. You know why? Because I have not deposited that. It's just like the same thing like a real bank account. If I go to my bank account right now, I can't take out $1 million. I have not deposited $1 million. Okay. So what does this all have to do when I'm talking about social media? So how it works is this with social media. Since people have what's called reciprocity, the best way to build up a following is by giving out information that's super valuable for free, that you know is worth hundreds and thousands of dollars. Because let me give you an example. Let's say you were stuck in the middle of the road, right? And you had $100 in your pocket. All right. Just imagine you had $100 in your pocket. And you give that and you had the $100 in your pocket, and your tire pops, and it's like 10 p.m. at night. You're stuck on the highway, and you know that you're pretty screwed because you don't have no spare tire. You don't even know how to fix a tire, right? It's the middle of the night, and your phone just died. You have no battery. Your phone, you didn't charge your battery, and it's dead. All right, you have $100 in your pocket, and you feel stranded, hopeless. Imagine somebody pulls up, they see you, and they just so happen to have like a tire repair kit in their car, and they come, they help you. They don't know you from a can of paint, and they repair your tire. It takes them like 45 minutes. They repair your tire for free, right? What are you gonna do as a person knowing you have $100 in your pocket? This person just stopped in the middle of the road. It's the pitch of night, right? It's the dead of night, and you're stranded out here. Without them, who knows how long you're gonna be stuck on the side of the road. What are you gonna do? You're probably, if you're a decent person, you're probably going to give them that $100, right? Because now you feel like you owe them, right? And that's reciprocity in a nutshell. When you do things for people without asking in return, or you just give people value, they then feel like they owe you, right? Or they're going to be like, wow, I like this person. It's like you're building a relationship. It's the same thing with social media. So social media, when you're creating content, for example, like my entire goal is to create content that I know I paid a lot of money for, that I know that I spent money on this. If I give them it for free, I know they're getting thousands of dollars of value for free. Because what's going to happen is this: when you serve people for free, you're thinking about how can I create things that's going to benefit people instead of others, that impacts their lives. What happens is you then start to build trust with people, right? And they're going to start to feel like, oh wow, like I love this stuff. Like you probably have people that you follow right now on social media that's probably impacted your life in some way, and they're adding value to you, whether it's even them making you laugh, feel inspired, right? Or they're giving you new insight, new information that you're learning. And because they're giving you this stuff for free, right, and you're consuming it and it gives some benefit to you, because you have reciprocity, you're not going to follow them. You're going to even feel like you might owe them if they give you good enough value. But at the very least, you're going to follow them and you're going to become like a fan of theirs, right? Because they're adding to your life. They're creating something that you enjoy, right? And that's assuming like consumption is all about you getting and it's enjoying, but then the creator, right, they're getting a benefit because they're helping other people. All right. Now, I'm going to show you how you could do this for any niche. So let's say you weren't in the wealth niche, you want to do it for fitness. You even see for people who are like in the fitness niche. So let's say I'm going to type in fitness right here, and I'll probably find someone that has a good following. So let's look at this guy. He's 200,000 followers, right? So fitness motivation. If I just look at this guy's account, what is he doing? He's giving out free information, right? And if it's good, you're going to see the reaction we're having. But look, he's giving out free information, right? So look, watch this real quick. Look, he's giving out what? Free workout. Like he's showing you workouts to do. Look, how to do 10 diamond push-ups, right? Hope this is making sense. So what is he doing? He's creating free value. Like look at this. This got 1 million views right here. All right, so look, instead of running, you should try this workout. So what is he doing? Look, and you can see people are even like interacting with it. They're commenting on it. And he's showing you a different way you get results without running. But what is he giving you? He's giving you free fitness advice, right? At no charge. But what's happening? People are engaging with this. They're liking this. Because what is he doing? He's being a creator instead of a consumer, right? He's like, let me go out and create free content that's going to help people, right? And when people watch it, they become fans because they're like, wow, this is great information. It helped me out. So number one, right, is being a creator. Now, here's the thing when you become a creator, though. The thing is this, when you now become a creator, see these are getting millions of views. This is literally millions of people seeing this content on a day-to-day basis. Now, the cool thing is when you create something one time, is that social media is now showing and pushing that content out repeatedly over and over again. So even while so this guy created this one thing one time, these videos one time, right? Guess what? I now am able to come to his account and watch these videos while he's not here. Like I'm watching this video right now, and this guy might be sleeping right now. He might be with his family. I don't know. He might be doing whatever he's doing right now. But the thing is that he's created something that went out into the internet, into the world, and people are consuming it, right? And now he's getting all of this attention for free. And all he did was create a piece of content to help people out. Because the first thing is being a creator. Now, here's the next thing. Now that he's created this stuff, guess what he's doing? He's putting value out there. Now he's building reciprocity. So, for example, I'm pretty sure this guy right here on his account, he's selling some type of fitness product. As you can see right, look, apply to work with him. So he's selling some type of coaching. Okay. Now, if he led off with, this is what most people do, if you're selling a product, most people think that selling is like you have to convince people to buy something, and that's not the case at all. So let me give you an example. So if he led off with videos and he's just like, hey, if you want to learn how to get 6-pack abs and you want to be able to lose 30 pounds in 60 days or whatever, apply to work with me right now, right? And then you go to his link, you're like, okay, I might be interested in that. And you go to his link and he's like, you can work with me for $500. You're going to be like, no, because he hasn't built no rapport, he hasn't given you any value, right? So he's going to feel like he's just taking. And that's how most people think about when they go to business. When they're trying to sell something, they just think about themselves. And I'm thinking about how can I actually help the end consumer. But because this guy's created so much free value, if somebody watches like 10 of these videos and actually helps them out, they're probably going to go up to this link, and this guy's probably he's making way more than me. I can tell you right now, this guy's probably making like high 6 to 7 figures a year. He's probably making 7 figures a year most likely because I can just see the traction get on his videos. And maybe the way he has this thing set up, I'm just guesstimating. He might not, he might be, the way his business is set up. But what's happening is people are consuming this content for free. He's now building rapport, and I guarantee you a good amount of his following are going into this, and they're applying to work with him because he's giving out free value, right? And literally, that's what like I'm doing. I'm creating free value. It's attracting people, right? And then on the end, I can now give them something of that they will pay for because it adds onto the value that I've already given them for free. Okay, so let me give you an example. It's like if you go out and you take a girl out on a date, if you try to get the girl, if you ask a girl to marry you on the first date, what is she gonna say? She's gonna be like, no. Like, what? I don't know you. Like, why would I marry you? Like, I don't see the benefits. Whereas, for example, I'm married. I've been married for 6 years now. My wife took her out on a couple of dates, right? I, got her gifts, right? We spent time together. She got to know me. I got to know her. We saw it was a good fit. And then after a while of knowing each other, I didn't propose to her. She said yes, got married. Now we got kids. Same thing here. You have to focus on building rapport. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to creating content, right, and becoming a creator, when you become a creator and you build a rapport, a following of people, okay, now how you start to actually monetize that following is by then adding on to the value that you're giving. So that's why you want to pick a niche. This is the importance of picking a niche, because your niche is going to determine the content you create and the product that you sell, right? And without a niche, you don't want to just create random value, not based around like the idea of who you want to serve in mind in the first place. So let me give you an example. If my page is about fitness, I'm helping people lose weight, I'm not going to go create content about how to grow your hair properly, or how to get whiter teeth, or or how to create digital products. It's not going to make sense. Like, if they go to my stuff, they're going to be like, okay, this is all over the place. So we want to pick a niche where you're focusing on one area, one person that you're helping out. So if I was doing stuff about like cooking, about cooking cookies, I want to teach people like my cooking recipe. I'd make videos showing people, hey, this is how you cook a chocolate chip cookie. This is how you make a chocolate chip cookie more soft and chewy, right? Here is the best type of wheats that you should use in making a chocolate chip cookie. Here is a chocolate chip you could make that will not make you gain as many calories, things like that, right? And all of my content is based around that, because this is going to be attracting those type of people. Now I can then send them to a guide of some sorts, or a freebie or something. A freebie is going to be like something else you get for free that kind of adds on to it, where it's like more of a step-by-step process. And you could be like, hey, here's a freebie. For example, this is what I do on my account, is I give them free information about how to create income online. Then I'm like, hey, here's a guide you can go and get for free. And the guide actually walks them A through Z. This is how you set up your account. This is how you do your bio. This is how you do ManyChat. And let me show you, you could use Canva to do this. So what I use is Canva. So let me show you this real quick. So what I use is Canva. And let me show you. So this is like my free guide right here, my digital marketing guide. And it actually walks you through, talks to you a little bit about me, right? How you get products you could resell that you don't have to create. How to monetize your brand, automation, so you have more time freedom, right? So it goes into like a good depth of free information that kind of walks you more through step by step of how to go from not having an online brand to creating an online brand and monetizing that online brand, right? So it kind of walks them through that for free. And this is stuff that people are selling inside of courses for hundreds of dollars and giving them for free. All right, so now I'm building up, remember, reciprocity. And now I'm building up reciprocity. I'm helping people out. I can then be like, okay, well, if you want to work with me, I build good rapport and you got a lot of good information. I'd be okay, you want to work with me? Here's a full mentorship where I work with you one-on-one, and I save you time, and I help you build this up to get the results that you want. And now people are willing to pay for that because I built up a good rapport with them over time. I hope this is making sense. That's like pretty much how I was able to make $1,600 last week. It's pretty simple. What am I doing? I'm creating content. I'm creating free value that builds up attention. That's how I built this following of over 400,000 followers. I create free content around a niche, right? That free content then gets people to want information about what it is that I have to offer. Okay, they get my free content. People start commenting for it, send them to a freebie, and then I have a funneling process to then get them to whatever product or service that I'm offering. So it's like pretty much it in a gist. Right, is you have to go from being a content consumer, from being a consumer in society, being a creator. Creators are the ones who make the most money. People out here who are creating television series, YouTube series, products, things like that, entrepreneurship, those are the people who make the most money in society, because the money they make is based off of creation and providing value, right? Instead of exchanging time for money. Because if you're exchanging time for money and that's the only way you can make money, you're probably going to be struggling to make money for the rest of your life. And you probably aren't going to ever get to the point where you can make money without having to trade your time for money, because you're always going to be constrained. You're always going to feel like I'm limited on the money I can make. And then on top of that, you're always going to feel like making like $100,000 a month or $6,000 a week is going to always sound impossible or like BS to you, because the only way you've been trained or thought to make money is by trading time for money. So I hope this helps you guys out. Let me know any questions you have below, if this makes sense, or if you're confused at all. I'll try to make this as simple as possible. Or if you want to have any topics you want me to talk about, just comment below, and I'll go over that. But that's like pretty much it, guys. That's how I made $6,900 last week. This is how much I made this month by becoming a creator instead of becoming a consumer, right? So 16K this week, just making videos on YouTube, on Instagram. And it's as simple as that, as you're to learn to become a creator instead of a consumer. Now, if you want something that's like more in depth, that teaches you, if you're somebody that's interested in learning how you can sell digital products, or you're interested in learning how you can just start a digital brand, period, that can create income for you. Not saying you're gonna make as much as me, because of course it does take consistency, it does take time. If I was to tell you you're gonna make the money I'm gonna make, I'd be lying to you, right? Because I am consistent. It does take time. Most people just aren't lazy. Most people are lazy and they're not willing to take action on what they learn. Because the information I'm giving you right now, most 99% of people are gonna watch this video. 50% of them are still gonna be like, it's not possible. 30% of them of you guys are probably going to be like, all right, well, let me scroll on to the next video and continue being a consumer, right? Which was like the point of this video. Once you're going to continue to be consumers, go watch the next video and then just waste time consuming content to just feed your own pleasures and feel good. And then the very few, which I'd say like probably like 5 to 10%, are going to be like, wow, I understand this, and they're going to take action. Because I was part of that. I was once where you were at. I saw videos like this and it made me kind of build a curiosity. I was like, oh, I want to learn how to do that. If you're somebody like that and you're like, I want to learn how to do this, you want to learn how to create a brand online, you want to learn how to become a content creator and create value that helps people that they didn't want to pay you for, right? I'm going to put a link underneath this video, and it's going to be a free video you could actually watch that goes into more details about how I'm actually able to build a following on social media, like the tools I'm using and how you can actually even do the same thing. It's going to be a 40-minute video, goes into way more in depth about how I'm building these videos, how you can even do it faceless, and the exact tools that I'm using to do this as well. So that video will be linked below as well. Or if you want to work one-on-one with me, I'll put a link below as well. And you can set up a call with my team, and we go over and see like what you want, whether you have a product idea or you have a digital product that you want to create. You want to learn how to sell other people's digital products and create income online like I'm doing like this as well. So I hope this helped you guys out. If you have any questions below, let me know, and I'll try to drop a video every week for you guys, every couple of days. And if you have topics you want to talk about, I'll talk about it as well to teach you guys on that as well. But that's pretty much how I did it. That's how I made $1,600 last week without being online, sick in bed for most of the week. Still able to make $6,900. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video.